Yo, what's going on, everybody? Just straight out of Boston, and today I'm back for episode number 44 of my Tampa Bay Rays Let's Play series here on Out of the Park Baseball 18. So we're back with the midseason episode for year 10, 2026. Off to a 30-24 start. 6 games up so far. We're only 6 games over 500 the whole year last year, so already on a better pace this year. We don't have to play 500 rest of the way to equal that record. Look at our high A-ball team, the Charlotte Stone Rabs, are 10-45 right now. Wow, that is so bad. That's like seriously all-time bad. And Josh Sharpong, one of our best pitching prospects, is on that team. Nice. So anyway, we are, like I said, 6 games above 500. I think we're playing a little bit better as of late. Our run differential is not very good though, and certainly, you know, I don't know. I thought overall, until I saw our run differential, I thought we've been playing decent, at least as of late. Especially, you know, we're getting pretty good contributions out of our main guys, Devers, Robles. Correa has only played a limited amount of time, but when he's been healthy, he's been good. He's out with an oblique strain for 2 more games. Ploman has been pretty good. Coronel has been hot as of late. Turner hasn't been great. I think that's one spot that we could possibly swap out Turner with someone. He's an expiring contract. Could probably move him. Mendez, I think, has been fine. I know he's not going to hit that well, but good defensively. I think him and Schwartz is probably fine as a catcher. Lucas has hit fine this year for us, but could be a trade chip since he's a good backup. This Kyle Jacobson I just claimed off waivers from St. Louis. He was mashing before. He could be an option in right field because although Schmittinger has been decent with the bat, right around league average, the defense has been pretty bad in right field. So right field is another spot we probably could look to upgrade. Pitching has been a little underwhelming from guys like Snell and Honeywell. Fido's been good, and Glasnow's been a little bit better than he was last year. BABIP is really low, though, so I think that's probably going to regress. Gottwalt is the guy I claimed off waivers. He's injured. Don't know what his diagnosis is, but he had been making a couple starts because DeLeon has been so bad as the 5th starter. But if Gottwalt's out, you could see DeLeon back in there. And the rest of the bullpen, only really Pint and DeYoung have been good. Pint, and DeYoung. But other than that, Gomez has a good strikeout to walk ratio. See if he comes around. Lara, same thing. He's got the 400 BABIP. Maybe he comes around. He's got the high strikeout total. So we'll see where things stand, you know, month and a half from now before we decide to make any big decisions about trades coming up before the deadline. Let's do the first-year player draft. So I have my first-round pick this year, number 18, and I have 2 supplemental round picks. Kind of wasn't really like a strategy necessarily of mine in the offseason to kind of preserve my picks, but it just so happened to work out that way. It's kind of an added bonus of getting the guys that I did get. Robles didn't have a compensation pick attached to him, and Coronel was an international free agent, so of course he didn't. And looking at the first round of picks, I do like this Alfredo Barrios, pretty good relief prospect. Control maybe not so great, but he could certainly be a good addition to the bullpen. Mike Fox, decent ratings. I like that the OSA ratings for his bat are pretty good too. And same thing with this Chris Allen. He looks pretty solid. Could be a nice corner outfielder. Jeff Cooper. Sam Hennard is an impossible signee. And we don't have a ton of money to spend. So we don't have a ton of money in our draft budget because we're spending a lot on our player payroll this year. But this Ricky Vargas is nice too. Jeff Visriel. Visriel's nice. He kind of has Jim Fisher-esque ratings, at least like what Fisher's ratings are now, not before he got hurt. This guy's not bad. Hollingsworth, good center fielder perhaps. And I like this Mike Jackson too because he's got decent pop, but I think I'm going to honestly take Barrios with that first round pick because I think he is the most likely. I guess Fox maybe will get taken too. I'm trying to think who's going to slip to the supplemental. I just think Barrios could look at his OSA ratings with that good control. And even if he has not so great control, he could still be really, really good. So I kind of want to take Barrios with the first round. And he's 21 already. Could be helping out soon. So let's draft him. And then, yes, Allen and Fox both fell. So I'm going to go with Allen first. We have the second round and the second pick and then the 7th in the supplemental round. And, yes, we got Fox and Allen. That worked out perfectly for us. And then Ricky Vargas is also still available. I'm going to get him. And we still have Jackson, Yisrael, and Cooper on the board, and Hennard. I think I'm going to avoid Hennard. Let's get Jackson. And then Cooper is still available. The other reliever got taken Yisrael, but that's okay because we already got 2 relievers this draft. And then I'm going to auto draft the rest of the way, but that's a pretty good draft, I think. Now we negotiate with our draftees. We have a couple guys to sign. Mike Furman is going to sign for $100,000 under the slot, and then Henard I'm not going to sign, and I'm not going to sign any of these guys. I think Henard is $3 million, 2.6, 3.6, and 2.4. So yeah, I'm going to save all that money. Maybe get a guy in the international market this year. But either way, I do want to mention, since we have a bunch of expiring personnel this year, let's go to front office and personnel. So we have, well, my contract is up after this year. So is Silverman's, Peralta's, Bernie Crawford's, and Jerry Brown's. Jerry Brown, I think I might try to up. This is what I'm really getting to, is I think I might try to hire another hitting coach like right now, because our bats, especially this year, have been pretty underwhelming, only hitting 246, and we haven't really been a good offense under his tutelage, so to say. Peralta, I would like to keep around. I think he's solid, but if there is a good manager available, could potentially swap him out. Crawford, I do like as a bench coach personally, but our pitching coach is good. I'm fine with him as long as I think our pitching will bounce back. And we have a good reputation. Hopefully I stick around. So I guess Baldelli's actually the first base coach for the Rays in real life, which I didn't realize. But let's look at the team staff. And there are good ones available. Dave Roberts is available. Ooh. So we're playing well right now. I wouldn't fire Peralta so long as we're like in first place or close to first place, but Roberts is winner of 3 world championships, beat us in the World Series, and I certainly would love to get him if we wanted to swap out Peralta. But let's look at hitting coaches, and yes, there is Kevin Long available, and I think I am going to go after this guy. He's been the hitting coach of the Mets, formerly the Yankees, before he was the hitting coach of the Mets. Get him over Jerry Brown, please, because our hitting has been anemic so far, and that I think is something we need to improve upon. But the rest of this, really just managers. There's Francona, who's available too. Look at his long history. And he's been the manager of the Nationals last few years, but they've been terrible. So I don't know about that. He's been the manager of the Indians, though, his first couple years of this save. And they were pretty solid. Did not win a World Series, though. And Godwalt is out for the year with a torn flexor tendon, so he is pretty much done. Well, we're definitely need a 5th starter now. Go in the 60-day DL. I guess it'll be DeLeon, and we will be able to activate Jim Fisher in a day when he is off he will be off. He will be healthy in 2 days, but we only have 1 game in those 2 days, so we will skip forward one more. We'll go short 1 bullpen arm for this 1 game against New York. We win it anyway. Now we will activate Fisher. He actually came back a day earlier than I thought. Why can't we activate him? I actually still need to make... I guess I have an extra bat on my bench. Did I activate? Yeah, I activated Nelfi Abreu by accident. I meant to send him down. Coca is going to get sent down. Now we can activate Fisher. And I also have Dave Lumen here, who's been on a rehab assignment. He was my Rule 5 pick. He was just recently been healthy, but he had been struggling. So I'm sending him on a rehab assignment to see how he does in AAA before I think about activating him. We got Fisher back now. And Kevin Long did agree to that contract that we offered him, so he was signed on as our new hitting coach. And this trade I'm going to be making for salary relief more than anything, but Luis Vasquez could be an option as a 5th starter, but he only makes $1.5 million. Holder makes $6.4, and he was recently DFA'd to make room for Dave Lumen on the Major League roster. So Vasquez, I'm going to keep in DFA limbo for probably the full week and then see if he gets a roster spot. We'll see how DeLeon does. He's going to get a start, and we'll see how Lumen does. I'm going to try and keep him, but could be, guys. He's hurt right now, so he could go back on the DL. So we are at July 2nd. We've slipped to 3 games under 500 now, really starting to fall out of it. Luckily, the wild card race is pretty jumbled up right now in the American League, and the Yankees starting to pull away in the division, but we're without Snell right now, and I am going to make the move and fire Pedro Peralta before we even sign any. I'm going to try and fire him and hire Dave Roberts. So Peralta's contract expires at the end of the year. We would only have to pay him for the rest of the season, but we'll see if Roberts can work some magic with this team. Who knows? Let's look at the international amateurs. And no one really to... Oh, no, yeah, there's this guy. Jorge Ramirez. He looks like a very good starter. So I'm going to try and offer him the $5 million. This pretty much uses up the rest of the money we have to spend. But it's okay, because the guys who I am going to try and trade all have money on their contracts anyway, like Glasnow and Trey Turner. But I have a couple deals in mind that I've been looking at that I think I'm going to also try and pull off once I get, if I can get Dave Roberts in here and really just try to shake up the team a little bit for the rest of the year. But things are quickly getting away from us for 4 games under 500 now. And it can turn around, but it's going to have to turn around quickly. And so we get, yes, there we go. Peralta gets the axe. We get Dave Roberts. Still want Jorge Ramirez. I think I can just keep offering him the $5 million. Oh, we don't have enough money now. Oh. So I guess maybe getting Roberts put us over the top. All right, let's see if we can do these deals. So this trade that I've been looking at with Detroit's, they're really one of the only teams. They're also kind of a rebuilding but sort of middling team. Probably like, we're not really rebuilding, middling. We've been, in the playoffs the last couple of years and certainly not trying to rebuild. I wouldn't, Detroit's got some players now, but I'm thinking a major swap. So this was the original kind of thing, was Glasnow and Odor kind of matched up. Yeah, we only have to throw in like Schmininger or O'Keefe, or even the guy last time that I checked was, whoops, Andy no, come on. Here we go. Armster. But it doesn't get them quite there yet. Yeah, it has to be like this guy, Kevin O'Keefe, who is, yeah, not really a good prospect. Former 3rd round pick. So that gets us Odor. And then we could get Diaz back. Diaz hasn't really been, I mean, Diaz, we're really trying to, we have a few different holes in the bullpen. We really need to just try anything. And our scouts still like him. Apparently, I mean, 32 years old, doesn't really have track record the last couple of years. Only appeared in 3 games for us last year, and I don't think he got used at all in the playoffs. Did he get used in the playoffs? Or did he get traded before? No, yeah, he did get used. He gave up a one run in that 1 inning. But yeah, it hasn't really been good for a couple of years now. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe he can bounce back. He's a free agent at the end of the year, so it's worth taking a flyer on him. Both these guys make major money. But you see our available money actually improves on this. I don't understand how, because Odor makes $21 million and is a free agent at the end of the year, and Diaz makes like $9 million. But then my other target from this team is Kyle Funkhauser to replace Glasnow, who's got 1 more year of team control left after this year. He's been struggling this year, kind of a little bit of a similar profile to Honeywell, with the good control, not a ton of strikeouts, and gives up home runs here and there. But I think he would be an upgrade over Glasnow. I think Glasnow, the rest of it, you just look at his BABIP. His BABIP's already regressing. Look at where his ERA is. He's one of the reasons we've slipped back. So I want to get Funkhauser, but you can see so we're going to try and get them to retain some of the money on Odor and see what it would take to get Funkhauser. And alright, it's still a lot, so I'm thinking, I know one guy they were interested in was Groshans. He's a little bit hurt right now. And we still have the guy, here's the guy that I wanted to trade to, was Trey Turner in this. I think he will get us hopefully close, but maybe we won't be able to pull off the full extent of this trade. We might. Schmininger is kind of, I don't really want to give him up because we could give up Jacobson. Jacobson has continued to hit for us though, so you could be that option in right field over Schmininger. Schmininger has been okay with the bat, 11 home runs. Decent power, but not really getting on base at a huge clip. There's no one else here I really want to give up. I don't want to give up Fisher, even though he's been banged up and looked iffy since he's came back this year. But I still think we kind of need him to be a guy in our bullpen for us. So I'm trying to think who else we could potentially try to throw into this. Maybe a Jose De Leon. But even then, it's still, like, doesn't quite get this there. If we throw in Schmininger, then could we get them to retain some of the money on Diaz? They can only retain 10. What about on Funkhauser? They can retain all of it on Funkhauser. So then our money improves by $9 million. So we have some money left over to spend still to maybe trying to get another right fielder. So we basically swapped Glasnow and Turner and Schmininger for Odor. Oh, the other guy I guess I was going to try and think about giving up in this trade was Wendelken. But it's not going to get us quite there. Like, if we get rid of O'Keefe, and we try to throw Wendelken in, then they would want Jacobson. So they will do the deal with Schmininger and Wendelken. If I don't ask for all of the money retained on Funkhauser, I think I can still get... Oh yeah, I can still get a pretty good amount of it retained. 90 even? Oh wow. Literally just not 95 or 100. The real question is, like, the only guy I really want to keep in this is Schmininger. But I think even if we got none of the money retained on Funkhauser, I don't think we're going to be able to do it still. If we give up, yeah, no, that's still Schmininger. And if we got none of the money on that, then our available money still improves to 3 million. But does it require Schmininger is the question. It still does. And even if we took none of the money, that's only 99,000. So yeah, it's going to have to take Schmininger to do this trade. But the added benefit is if we do include... I guess we could do Carlos Gomez, but I kind of like Gomez's prospects as a reliever, because his strikeout to walk ratio has been pretty good. But actually, I think I am just going to give up Schmininger, because then it's going to allow us to give Jacobson a run at the everyday job for like a month at least and see what he can do. And we do get to keep all the money, so that gives us the flexibility to go out and get another right fielder if we have to. So we just do 90% on this, and we give up Wendelken's contract. That frees up even a little bit more money for us, and I don't have to pay him next year. And Diaz will just take his spot. So this is going to be the full deal. Glasnow, Grosjean, Schmininger, Turner, and Wendelken for Odor, Diaz, and Funkhauser. I don't think there's anyone else here I want to really get. This guy is a reliever. Maybe, why not? If I can get him for like free. No. What about Brady Scott? I almost got this guy in the offseason. Okay. So this is pretty close to them being like, nah, I'm wanting to do this deal. But, alright, so we are going to pull it off. And that is a pretty big shakeup. So we get Dave Roberts. We pull off a pretty big trade, get in a couple new guys. Hopefully this will turn the team around. This is a little bit, I know, like, I don't know, maybe people are going to be like, oh, you should just like rebuild this year and like, or sell off pieces this year, try to rebuild quickly. And just telling you guys, it's not that easy in this game to trade veterans for good prospects. It's really hard to get good prospects when you play on challenge mode with hard trade difficulty. So I'm going to try and give this a shot. And, you know, we don't really give up that much. Like, it was honestly just swapping broken pieces for pieces who I hope are going to help fix the problem. Like, I don't really know if Odor is going to be a huge upgrade on Turner, but I think he's worth a shot, certainly. And, you know, same thing with Diaz and Funkhauser, to be honest. But we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to keep simulating forward for... Actually, we'll keep... I'm not even going to cut out yet because we've got the All-Star rosters being announced pretty soon. And I think we have... Yeah, here we go. Expiring personnel message. So Silverman and Crawford I'm going to retain. Crawford, I think I like as a bench coach. I'd like to keep him alongside Roberts. And it's only a 2-year commitment. Who else or what else? So we'll continue to simulate forward. Keep an eye on the waiver wire, just in case anyone who I think could help us out becomes available. And we'll see how we do now. We got, I think this is our first game under Roberts. We lose 3-2. Oh, we didn't sign Jorge Ramirez. Whoops. I just completely blanked out on that. Wasn't even paying it. I got completely like lost in the trade pretty much and just forgot. This guy could still sign Cisneros for $3.5 million. I certainly have the money to spend now on these international guys. Dang, I really wanted Ramirez though. That was kind of a mistake. I can still get this guy for 1.5 perhaps. And that would take up this, so I get two guys. I get two players instead of one at least. But still, Jorge Ramirez. I missed out on him. I think I'll probably come to regret that. Because he looked like he was going to be pretty good. Even kind of like a Brent Honeywell type, a little finesse. No compensation picks for us. Keep an eye on the waiver. I don't really see the Shane Baz guy. Maybe I'll take a look at from Kansas City. Someone just got hurt. It's been hot. Decent ratings for agent at the end of the year. Maybe we will put a claim in on him. He makes nothing, right? Yeah. Minimum salary. So we'll put a claim in on him. And Eddie Ibanez is available. I don't think I'm going to... Oh, he's actually been decent this year. What? Ooh. Only 21 strikeouts haven't been that great. Still, he'd probably be an upgrade over our backup infielder, and he doesn't make a lot of money. So we'll try to get a claim in on him too, why not? A couple guys here we could be getting off waivers. Baz, we'll see, maybe he gets a shot over... Oh my god, really? Both these guys want more money? Alright, well I'm going to prioritize the outfielder Cisneros. And give him... Just going to give him 4.5. Actually, I'm just... Yeah, no, I'll give him 4.5. Just please sign that. We're not going to be able to afford him and the other guy, I don't think. Because I'm pretty sure 5 is the max. I know 5 is the max you can offer someone. I don't know if it's the max you can spend. Yeah. It's up to $5 million per year. So we only have 500,000 left. And it looks like we're going to get both these guys just ahead of the trade deadline, or ahead of the All-Star break. Still 2 games under 500. We really need to start getting it going. Pretty much, no doubt about that. We have both Lara and De Leon in the rotation right now, which is not ideal. So Vasquez, I think I'm going to DFA. Or can I just send him down? No. I'll DFA him. And I will be able to activate Baz. Hopefully Baz goes in the rotation over one of those guys. And Ibanez. Donnelly's been solid so far, actually. But we could have room for him over Grosvenor, who was one of our better AAA bats, but we do need... Oh, and Robles is hurt. I didn't realize Robles went down for 6 weeks with shoulder tendonitis. That's a huge loss. So now we need... This guy's going to be our everyday center fielder, probably. Right? And then we need to act... Now we have the roster spot for Ibanez, but... Let's see. Let's do update with lineups. Yeah, we still need a backup outfielder. Alright, so for the time being, I think I'm going to send Donnelly down, since he does have options left, and send up Jose Cadenas, but definitely going to be looking for another outfielder off the waiver wire. Luckily, we have only 3 more games before the All-Star break, and like I said, we need to finish out the first half strong, the quote-unquote first half. And now Ibanez gets hurt, seriously? State of the day, whatever. I guess I could just slap him on the deal real quick if I wanted to, but too late now, we only have 1 game left anyway. After this one gets simulated.